Charisma Quotient. I'm your host, Kim Seltzer, a dating and makeover expert, where I will help you build confidence, make connections, and find love from the outside in. So I work with all ages who are in all different stages when it comes to dating, including many of you who have literally never dated before, even if you are over 30. And it might be because you have been in a relationship for a long time, or you're just like a relationship person, a serial relationship person your whole life, and really have never just dated for the sake of dating without getting attached. Or you don't have any experience whatsoever, either because you were a late bloomer, maybe you were focused on your career, or dealt with a lot of social anxiety, or it could be all of the above. But for whatever the reason is, if you are looking to date and have never dated before, it is normal to be nervous and have anxiety around this whole thing called dating. To be honest, I don't even like the word dating. I often tell clients and people that I'm working with, just replace the word dating with being social, because somehow once the word dating is attached to anything, now we have expectations, and there's a lot that is attached to that. So when you're overwhelmed with anxiety, and the anxiety can be intense, and you might avoid the dating scene altogether. If that's the case, you think of how hard, uncomfortable, and how difficult it all is. Usually the core emotion behind those thoughts is the feeling of being scared. I mean, it's scary putting yourself out there and being vulnerable with someone you just met. I mean, you're just getting to know that person, and they are getting to know you. And for that first time, it can be intimidating to be asked, especially intimate questions or personal questions from a stranger, and to be evaluated by them. And maybe that's what some of you are perceiving that as. Not knowing how to start dating is a typical reason why dating causes a lot of fear. It can be scary when you feel like you have no game, especially, or flirt skills to be able to get someone's attention, or take the next step to ask someone out, or hint that you even want to be asked out. Feeling ill-equipped with the skills to charm, get someone's attention, compliment someone, and show them that you are interested in dating can be daunting. Does this sound like you? And I'm telling you, you're not alone. Another reason why dating can be hard, is that you have the strong desire to be in a relationship, but then at the same time, you fear the disappointment if it doesn't work out. It is a natural instinct to want to feel that human connection. I mean, we're all meant to be with someone. We are social beings and be in relationships with others, but it's scary to try and go after those dreams at the same time, because you end up almost in a tug of war with yourself. It's like what you want is what you fear, and you fear what you want, and that's what keeps you stuck and paralyzed. Now, specifically, there are some common roadblocks that go along with this that might cause you to freeze and not date. So I want to go over some of them. And as I'm reading them, check off the boxes, because it may be a couple things, but it may be all of them. And that is good, because once you do an audit on yourself, you'll know just kind of what your roadblocks are and how to overcome them. Number one, and I find this to be true in a lot of my high achievers, is perfectionism. So you might be trying to date the perfect person, and you're vetting so hard that can limit your options and put unrealistic expectations on that person, and quite honestly, yourself. You won't even start dating because no one seems good enough in your eyes. Number two, rejection. Putting yourself out there and being vulnerable is uncomfortable, and it's scary, like we were talking about. And you might be afraid of others not liking you back, or you have that fear of rejection. Number three, embarrassment. Dating can feel awkward. It's uncomfortable. It brings up a lot of feelings of inadequacy. So you don't date because you feel embarrassed with not knowing where to go, how to start dating, what to say, or how to act while on dates. The other one is comparison. So you might look around and notice that all your friends are dating or in a relationship, especially if you're over 30. And it's easy to compare yourself to others and wonder, why is everyone else dating and finding love and not me? Like, why is it so easy for them and not me? And this can prevent you from starting your own dating journey. Another roadblock is limited options or opportunities. I mean, a lot of you complain about this. You might feel there are very limited options or opportunities around you to meet new people or date within your preference. And another one is body image. Avoiding dates because of your body image. You may think, if I only felt confident in my body size or weight, then I would start dating. Or you that feeling of insecure with other aspects of your appearance. I mean, it could be anything. It could be your hair, your skin, whatever that is. And that can stop you from feeling the motivation to start dating. Another roadblock, distraction and less time. I mean, let's face it, we are in a very busy world, and having too many obligations and responsibilities might be restricting you from starting to date. And so you might feel that if you were to date, then you would have to sacrifice time towards your goals, your commitments, your passions, your responsibilities, or you're just plain too busy. As I call it, you're busy being busy. And sometimes that is actually a love shield and a protection because it's easier to be busy than to date, let's face it. Okay. And then the final thing, and I would say this is very common, especially if you are an introvert, is social anxiety. Social anxiety is a serious roadblock. I mean, to start dating again, especially if, or just in general, especially if you're uncomfortable in social settings, you might be worried if you are going to humiliate yourself, or you don't know how to initiate or engage in playful conversations. This that definitely can be paralyzing and take away the desire to date. You can overcome these fears, but you need support and practice and accountability to get there. Thus, why I'm bringing on this beautiful woman who we're about to talk to. So, today on the line, I have a great woman. She struggles to put herself out there due to having no relationship and very little dating experience. And she knows that she becomes kind of guarded and anxious when trying to talk with men. And she wants to overcome it, but she just has no idea how to take things beyond kind of just a friendly or dry, maybe surfacey conversation. She would love to learn how to be more comfortable flirting, being playful, fun, and get over some of the fears she's having. So I hope I can help her create a dating plan to build her confidence and learn how to date with fun and ease. Welcome, Sarah. Are you there?
Hey, Kimmy.
Hi. Did any of that sound like you?
Oh, yeah, I wrote everything down and I checked about every single one. So,
Well, look, obviously you're not alone, right? Like we're doing a whole podcast on this. There's been a
yes.
lot of research on this that says that these are what trips people up. So I'm just so happy that you decided to come on here. And I really think not only are you going to help yourself, but help others too, because like I've been telling you off air, I mean, this is really common. So maybe let's just start out by telling everybody, like, who you are and a little bit of just your background and dating experience or lack thereof, just to give us
Yeah.
some context. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really don't have experience with serious relationships at all. And it's something that I does know I deserve and really want. And I'm in my 30s, and it's something that like I'm making a goal for myself to really dedicate time and space to figuring out myself in this aspect of life, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yes.
because it's gonna take work.
Yeah.
So
Well, anything in life takes work, right? Like,
yes.
and practice. And I know you and I were talking about that a little bit. So,
Hmm.
I mean, I know you and I just had that one conversation, but just if you could share a little bit about what prevented you from dating all these years.
Yeah, so kind of going off of your like the list that you just went, I think the ones that really resonated me were body image, comparison, embarrassment, and rejection. Because those all are like very others. It's not me alone. Like I could get past the limited options because that's just me being pessimistic and I can coach myself to be out of there, but I haven't figured out how to coach myself out of comparing myself or coaching myself out of like those negative body thoughts. Um and growing up, I faced a lot of rejection from my peers and just not even in the dating realm, but like just trying to make friends. And so that has like adding the factor of intimacy that is hand in hand with dating has just made it so much more like the stakes are so much higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that fear of rejection is just very prevalent. And same thing with embarrassment. Like I'm like that whole intimacy thing again, because I don't have experience, it's kind of like circling a drain or going around in circles, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. But like I'm in my 30s and I don't, back to comparison, I don't have as much experience as I would expect somebody my age to. I do have experience, but I compare myself to others and where I think I should be. And so that kind of it's just a spiral that I get lost in. And it's really hard to pull yourself out of, especially when these aren't like everyday conversations with your friends. To
Yeah.
like take yourself out of there and be like, hey, this is what I think about. Help me, please. um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and thank you for sharing that because that's real. So those voices in your head or the gremlins as I call it, what are they saying? Like what are some of the negative thoughts or limiting beliefs that come up for you?
Well, sometimes it doesn't even get to like the negative. Like I'm so blocked off that I don't even let myself get there. It's just immediately like I think of something else because I know that those negative thoughts are coming. So like if I to put it in like if I see a cute guy, like
Hmm.
before I can start being like thinking those negative thoughts, I don't even like I stop paying attention to him because it's like I don't want to get my hopes up or like fall into those thoughts of like, oh my God, he's so cute. Like I kind of want to talk to him. Like, cause like I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. So instead of like falling into that and being like, oh, there's no way he could be interested in me because like he's so cute and I'm me. Like I just won't even pay attention to him and I will not. Like I turn away. So
Got it. So you
yeah.
literally block it. Like you
Yes.
and subconsciously or consciously, you'd rather just not even deal with it and block it than expose yourself to the possibility of rejection.
Yes. Even online dating, like swiping, like, which again, it's like so much, so low stakes, it feels like nobody knows anything is happening.
Hmm.
But I still like, oh my, like that guy, there's no way I could ever. So instead of even pretending like he'd be interested or anything, like I just swipe left because I'm like, nope, there's no way he would at all be interested in me. I'm not his type. Um,
Got
yeah.
it. I want to go back to the bullying that you had growing up because it sounds like there's such a strong association with what you experience with where you are now. Like, like just
Yeah.
in terms of like, yeah, the stakes. Do you mind just sharing a little bit like what happened during the bullying? Like what kinds of things were you exposed to?
So like it was very like my growing up and childhood was it was traumatic. Like the
Mm.
rejection that I felt from my peers. A few like specific things I remember are just like in elementary school, just always being like picked on and belittled. Never like being the runt of the litter. And then like throughout high school, I would like have plans with people and then they would cancel plans with me to go hang out with other people like very clearly like oh yeah I was going to hang out with you but actually you're not good enough or I would be like oh like, hey, that sounds like something fun I would go to, and people would be like, actually, I don't think anybody's gonna want you there. So sorry, no. So it was like,
That hurts a lot.
yeah,
Yeah. And
especially when I couldn't figure out why. Like
hmm
there never seemed to be like a, oh, I was being the annoying kid, or like I was a mean kid, or like I was a pretty normal kid.
hmm
I was so there it never made sense in my mind of why it was happening. So,
And was there any thing around your body? Because you said you had body image before you related to that fear.
yeah, so I was always like a bigger girl, but at that age it wasn't I developed body image issues.
Hmm.
That wasn't really a prime factor
Mhm.
in growing up. Um,
It's just compounded, like there's something now.
yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yep.
And then when that those experiences happened, were they mostly from other girls
Yes.
or boys too?
Nope, it was girls.
And so what was your experience with boys then at that age and then growing up?
So I never really had guy friends growing up. Um, Gosh, I haven't even thought of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it was never I was never hanging out with guys. I mean, again, I'm trying to think about anything growing up, and I was ne I think I was never like a tomboy, so it wasn't like I was ever hanging out with just the guys. And because the girls never wanted me around, I never got to hang out co-ed. So I never like got that experience. And
Ugh.
so getting to college was really kind of my first experience having friends as guys.
Mm,
And that college is a weird place to learn that.
yeah.
Because like I definitely was not at the same like emotional like the maturity level that my girl like my girl peers were at with the guys, if that makes sense. Um,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, your maturity was arrested a little bit. Like you were picking up where you left off with no experience. It's almost like
Hmm.
college was more like junior high for you.
Yes. Yep. And like thinking back on it now, it was definitely like I can think back on it now and see like, okay, yeah, those probably weren't the best. Like, it was definitely junior high.
Yeah, right.
Where, like, yeah.
So, did you have then any negative experience with guys then moving forward, like in college and stuff?
Yeah. So I had like throughout college, it was definitely more, and I don't know if this is just me placing feelings onto others, but it was like through freshman, sophomore year, it was very like the hookup culture. And that was not something that I knew how to navigate and be
Hmm
comfortable with. And so the only like relation like I have friends, but then like I didn't know this sounds weird too for me, but like I didn't know how to show my body respect. So I didn't know how to make other people respect my body.
Mm.
So the guys kind of took advantage of that. In like
Mm.
there were like there was a lot of like inappropriate touching at like not appropriate times. And I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was just normal. And that was how like guys were friends with girls. And it also like I could tell that if I wasn't moving fast enough with a guy, then he kind of like he stopped being interested in me. And maybe again that was me putting feelings on him, but that's how I was reading it. Nobody ever took the time to be like, hey, like having that conversation about like where are you at, like what are you feeling, like I'm into this, are you into this, we're like which I'm older now, and that is a really important that is something that I need and value.
hmm Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again, as college progressed, there were more negative experiences as well. And it was just never, I learned to respect my body and kind of draw those boundaries. Um, but like by that point, the disrespect had got like, you can't really go back on some of that. And then there were just other instances where like guys just weren't respectful, and it kind of, I went backwards. I regressed. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just been a lot of like not great experiences. So
Well, Sarah, I mean, no wonder you're fearful. I mean, no
yeah,
wonder this all just seems
not
hard.
great.
Yeah, no, I mean, my gosh, you went from like 0 to 10 to like
Hmm.
there was no sense of understanding courtship and learning how to pace yourself and kind of build emotional intimacy as well as the physical intimacy. And so
Hmm.
the message that you got is that dating is scary and that men take advantage, and then just added probably to the social rejection too
Yes.
aspect of it. Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's impossible to try to like throw yourself in and pretend like you're in the PhD program of dating when you really not only didn't ever really learn how to do it, but then the
Hmm.
little experience that you had was negative. And so it'll keep you in that like kind of protective cocoon. Like that shutdown that you're experiencing is so
Yes.
much safer for you because it's like to expose yourself like that. No, I mean, no wonder.
Yeah. And like you were saying with like that emotional intelligence and intimacy, like it's hard. Like I know that's what I need, but it's hard to like ask a guy up front, be like, where are you at with this? Like this is what I need. Like
And
in
how,
order to, yeah.
Mhm. So let me ask you this. How open and emotionally expressive are you about you?
Not very.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
you see the kind of problem is that it's like we always attract what we are. And the
Hmm.
fact that you're not attracting kind of these emotionally expressive, respectful guys is that you're not either, right? Because you're scared. And so there's a disconnect, right? Like so maybe interactions seem kind of surfacey or dry,
Yeah.
don't really go anywhere. Um, because in all aspects, like being open with your body language, being playful, being flirty, expressing your emotions, like that's all just scary for you.
Very scary. It's
Yeah.
not come natural.
Yeah. And then, and we talked a little bit about this, but also I think it relates to the same thing. How do you feel about your femininity and sex appeal?
Oh yeah. I don't think it
That.
exists.
Well, you knew I'd have to ask that.
Yes, yes. No, I struggle with that a lot. I don't think of like I don't, it is not a side of myself I know how to bring out at all.
Hmm.
Um, Not even a little bit. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And that's like it's odd because like I like the way that you describe femininity, it just like I wear heels, I wear makeup, like I like a good lipstick and I'll do my hair. But that to me isn't like the femininity that you're talking about. It's like feeling yourself and like carrying yourself a certain way. And
Hmm.
like that is something I know. Like I carry, like I wear heels and like red lipstick with boss energy,
Uh,
not with like that feminine soft side of like vulnerability like that. I don't know that side of me.
right, right.
Like
So like you're wearing the costume, but you're not embodying it, basically.
yes,
And
yes.
so there also, Sarah, might be an intimidation factor that guys have around you, especially if you kind of look the part, yet then
Hmm.
there's this like love shield on that's like a man can't even put a dent in it.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so
Yep.
because you're scared, right? And so it's confusing to guys. It's like, well, I can't feel her. I don't know what to make of it. And on top of it, you said that you're also very independent and,
Yep.
you've done everything your entire life. And so a lot of that's the masculine energy.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
remember we were talking about, and just like for you listening, Sarah and I were talking about feminine energy, not just being about wearing heels and lipstick, but it's about, right, the softness, the flow, but most of all, it's about receiving. And again, you're not open to that.
No.
Right.
Oh, I'm going into my show right now. Not at all. Get
Yeah.
away with
No, no, don't go too far into the show. I don't want to lose you. Just
Yeah, no.
keep your head popped out for a second because I am determined to help you, come out of that shell. And, when dealing with all that you've dealt with and it all feels scary, like I want to kind of move into an action plan for you because again, it doesn't do any good to tell someone like you or you listening, oh, just get out there and date, you'll be fine. Like just keep dating a bunch of people. Like that that's too hard. And I
Hmm.
know that you experienced it with that group that you went on with, and that helped you, like just the exposure.
Yep.
But rather, I want to give you just like some tangible things that you can try that won't feel so scary. It's like dipping your toe, not diving into the deep end. I mean,
Yep.
that's just too much.
Little steps.
Baby steps, yeah, just to build the confidence because you have it. And then remind me, are you online currently, and what's going on there?
No, not at the moment. The apps are off my phone.
Okay,
Yeah, now's a delete moment. I got fed up. I'm like most people, I think, on and off.
right, right, okay. And the pictures that you had online, had you been intentional? And I'm not sure like what your pictures look like.
Yes. So I think I try to, with my pictures, I try to show, like, I make sure that there's full body in there of me all dolled up. And then there's like real photos of me because I'm an outdoorsy person. So, like,
Mhm.
outside, maybe sweaty. Like, here's a real kind of, maybe not sweaty, but like no makeup. Here's a real photo of me and like me smiling and trying to
Okay.
get that personality in there. So I
It
try to
sounds
be very
good.
intentional with them.
Yeah, no. That's good. I mean, what you're describing sounds spot on. Okay. The hard part about online dating, I believe in it, by the way, is just part of like a dating portfolio, like your financial portfolio. It's just another portal where you can meet people. However, I do find that people who have anxiety find that the apps are just even more anxiety provoking because it sets you up for a lot of like fear of rejection type of things, especially with all the ghosting and all that. And
Mhm.
on top of it, it's not really building your social muscle, and you need to exercise your social muscle more than
Yes.
your swipe, so to
Yes.
say. You can swipe all day long, and
Oh, yeah.
because you're fearful, you're probably swiping left way more than right. So
Oh, 100%.
yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna put the fingers down and actually put your body out there. And but here's the thing, and I'm gonna make this so easy so that you get to take the pressure off. Like I always have my clients create a mission statement, which is like, for business we do that, but we don't do that for dating. And you may just want to sit down and say, okay, in the next 3 months, pick like 3 to 5 skills that you want to work on. And I'm telling you right now, nowhere on there should say get a boyfriend. Right now, like I want to take that off the plate. In fact, I would not even call this a dating mission statement for you. I would replace the word dating with social, like just a social mission statement. And being social, like I want you thinking about being social with women, being social with men, because you had negative experiences both with men and women. Like I would love
Hmm.
for you to just feel good and have like a nice energy with other singles, period. And just you building that confidence, like around that.
Yeah.
First of all, how does that kind of overarching thing sound?
I like that. That when you first said that earlier about like replace dating with social, I loved it because I was like, oh my God, the pressure is immediately off. Like, no joke. Like
Yeah,
just that
no, there's,
one word is, yeah.
well, especially like it just, again, because dating everybody associates with like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Hmm.
No wonder that rejection piece or the embarrassment and all that stuff that keeps coming up comes into play. So I just want to take that off the table. Like, I don't want you thinking about dating and I don't want you thinking about a boyfriend. Okay. So now it just becomes
Hmm.
a little bit cleaner. All right. I think the first thing that I would love for you to get more comfortable with is just embodying that feminine energy. Now, I know it's hard because I mean, I can't see you and like we don't have things to practice. Do you have any girlfriend or friend who's good at that stuff? Like who's a little
Yes.
more comfortable? You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are you friends with her? Like, would she be good to go out with?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. I think just once a week, I want you either going out with her or even taking yourself out 1 hour a week. Like it's like going to the gym.
Yeah.
And I just want you getting dressed up, like do your heels, and I want you just slowing down. And all I want you doing is walking into the room and just notice who's noticing you. That's it. I don't even want
What?
you. Yeah. No, I don't even want you talking to people. Like, I don't worry about that. Like, I'm taking that off the table because that's
Huh.
super scary. All I want you to do is just roam around and just look at who's noticing you. Where are the men in the room? See, I think you have blinders on right now. Like you're not even in the world right now because you're so scared.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just want you waking up. Just wake up. Just see what's around you. Notice the women in the room. Notice like who's laughing, who's smiling, who looks nice. And if your friend is with you, just observe her. Just right now, just like watch what she does. Like watch her body language, watch how she laughs, watch how men respond to her, and just literally take like mental notes. And that's it. That's all I would just start with putting your costume on and going out and just becoming more aware.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Does that
I
sound
don't,
doable or scary?
is it both, like both?
Both?
It
Okay.
definitely scary because I think like you are so correct in that I don't notice. I'm like, okay, I arrived at a spot. Where's the spot that I'm going to? Like, let me find my safe zone again. Like, there's no in
Right.
between.
Right.
And the in between is anxiety.
Yeah.
Um,
I literally want you just don't,
huh.
when you walk in a room, don't like go to your safe zone. Really try to challenge yourself. And just think of it as a challenge. Like no one knows what you're doing. No one cares.
Yeah,
I
I
just
love it.
Yeah, and you know what you could even do is time yourself. Like maybe the first time say, "Okay, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes." Then the next venue and next time you're out, try it for 10 minutes. And it literally just kind of walk around and just smile, make eye contact, be aware, and that's it. Cuz see, there's no way you can jump to think about dating and getting more comfortable if you're not comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
forget the guys. I don't even
Yeah.
want, seriously, like this isn't even about the men. This is about you.
This is just wild. Because
No,
yeah.
right? Because it's a different mindset right now.
Mhm.
It's because again, I want to take the pressure off of like worrying about men and how they're looking at you and if you're doing the right or wrong thing. Like it's who cares?
Yeah.
Just want you. I did this with somebody. It was so funny. And she was scared like you, but she's like, oh, okay. And she was wearing different things and she was she then took it upon herself, and I would love for you to do this too. This is another way of like upping the ante. Go to like the grocery store all dolled up and dressed up and just like see what happens. See how people treat you. See if guys
Huh.
start opening doors for you. Like, but you have to allow it. Like, and
Yeah.
so there's a couple things within this experience I want you working on is definitely like notice your body language, and then also see what you can allow the man to do. Like if a man actually smiles back or says hi, try to just say hi back.
Okay.
That's it. Like again, this has nothing to do with dating. Like all,
Yeah.
and then number two, what I want you doing is every time you have an outing like that, I want you to go home and journal about it. And when you journal, I want you to think about how it felt. Don't report back. So this is more the emotional intelligence stuff
Hmm.
that I want you kind of cultivating because the more you do it with yourself, then eventually it can translate to other people. How did it feel? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Were you excited? Were you hopeful? Like try to like pull some feelings and then describe what happened. And just start like really feeling into your own emotions with all of this.
Okay.
Okay.
I can
And
do that.
then, yeah. And then once I would say, I would do this for a month. You know, you could do this once or twice a week. And if you are starting to feel more comfortable with it, then I would just extend it a little more. So then practice going into the same kind of situations, but then see if you can strike up a conversation. Don't worry about flirting yet, but
Hmm.
just see if you can talk to people organically in the wild, dare I say. All you listening to are so scared of talking to each other in the wild, like yet we all are humans. We all want to connect, yet, and obviously the pandemic didn't help, but if we can just make an opening that
Yeah.
approachable and literally just say hi, I wonder what would happen.
Probably good things.
Yeah. And I would just say like try this for 1 or 2 months and just keep upping the ante. You can up it the time frame, you can up the amount of days, and you can also up the amount of interaction that you do. And then afterwards, once you get like comfortable and all that, then you can go to like almost phase two, where then it becomes a situation where maybe you want to see if you want to go on a date and practice those skills, go back online or, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But I just wouldn't worry about that right now. Right now, I just think you need to be comfortable with yourself.
I love that.
I love
That's
that
good.
you love
Yeah.
that.
I do. 'Cause I don't think I realized how like simple it kind of was, where it's like breaking it down. Like, no, it's not just all of dating. It's like, no, just pay attention to where you are at the moment and what's happening and slow down, like you said. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's
Well, and because
yeah.
of what you told me, and this is so common, is that so many people are worried about what other people think and feel rather than how you feel and how you are with yourself. And
Hmm.
honestly, the minute you take the pressure off and the focus of the man or the woman or whatever it is, and you just focus on you, that's when you become a magnet.
Yeah.
Right? And then people are drawn to you, then people want to talk to you. Then that's really what you see when you see people who feel comfortable in a room or charismatic because they don't really care about what other people are thinking. They just go and do what they want.
Yeah.
So, and Sarah, you are so personable. You have like, and like I told you, I loved you from the minute you
Yeah.
said hello yesterday. We just had one phone call. I just wish that other people could see it sooner, because there's that gap that happens because you're hesitating and
Mhm.
you have that wall up. The more that we can close the gap and you can just get more comfortable, just imagine
Yeah.
stuff that can happen.
it's interesting because that's like when we were chatting, like I know exactly what I look like when I'm in that comfortable space because like that and that magnetism because that's exactly how I am at work. Like people
Yeah.
come talk to me and like that's exactly the energy that I have at work. I just have no idea how to have that in my personal life, which is wild and just crazy to me thinking about it.
No, it's very common. And I think
Yeah.
we talked about it is that it's easier when you have a purpose, a role, and a script when you are at work because you know
Yeah.
exactly what you're doing, you're good at it, and you know how to interact because you have a role in that. Well, in the wild, there's no role, there's no script, it's just you. And that's scarier, especially given your experience. So, but
Yes.
what I do love is that you have a honing device. You have a honing device of a place in a situation where you feel really confident.
Hmm.
And so, what I would also love for you to do is give her a name. Like what's a name that we can give Sarah where she's feeling just like super confident in a room?
Oh gosh. I don't even know. I
You
don't
have
know.
anything
But
that's like sassy Sarah or silly
well, like
Sarah?
the first thing that the first name that popped like I don't know if you meant like that descriptive word, but the first name that popped into mind was Stella.
Stella, Stella. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to just be Stella when you walk into a room and just act as if. Like
Yes.
almost pretend like you're at work and you're like badass Stella.
I
But
love
you're
it.
with right? Like, but you're with the heels and the red lipstick,
Yeah.
you're owning yourself. And like I do that all the time with, clients where we do like flirt names, like, and then you can up the ante and then you can give yourself like a little sex pot name, when you're ready to
Yeah.
flirt. Then you could be like
Yes.
Jessica Rabbit or Mitzi or I don't know, whoever that
Yeah.
is. So let's just be badass Stella, like super confident Stella that is just relaxed, confident, knows her stuff, and can just strut in a room without, having any fear and total ease. And that will give you a little bit of prep work before like going to a social event. So that was another thing I was going to say. Like anything that you can do that'll ground you, that'll help you be more in your body and out of your head is going to really help you. Like, do you like to listen to music?
Yes.
Awesome. Like I would make a playlist of things that like get you dancing, get you like motivated and that like fun kind of energy and maybe listen to that and have a playlist that you listen to over and over again because you'll have that sensory memory every time you go
Okay.
out. So you do a little like prep beforehand, shake off your work self. Even though, Stella's gonna own the place, we don't want like masculine Stella either. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
we don't want productivity Stella either. I want you the feminine version of Stella. And so I don't know, like dance around in your underwear, get ready and just like, look in the mirror, smile, dance, like just get into the whole thing. Cause that again, it's just pulling in and really it's about you enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that'll give you, I think, a little bit of time. I would say maybe an hour before you're going out, do some sort of prep work like that.
Okay. That
Okay.
I know I can do.
Oh my God, listen to that. See, yeah, you sound super calm. Well, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Then make so you have the three things. You're going to do a little bit of a social prep kind of thing with whatever the dancing and the music. We have Stella as the name, and you're going to prep. Then you're going to go to these places. You're going to keep upping the ante and go with your friend a couple times so you can observe her. And then the third thing is you're just going to journal every single time. And then once you get confident, then we're going to have a call.
Yes.
How's that all sound? How do you feel?
Excited.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
What
very
excites
yeah.
you? What excites you?
Like it feels so corny to say, but like hope. Like
Not corny.
it's been broken down into doable things.
Yeah.
Instead of just again being that daunting word of dating and finding your love of your life and
Finding the
like
one.
yeah,
No,
like
forget all
it's
that.
yeah, like
You'll
I'm
get
just gonna
there. You'll get
yeah,
there.
I'm
But
gonna go start with
remember,
dancing in my underwear.
yeah, dancing. It's way more fun.
Yes.
I would say you could send a picture of that. I'm sure a lot of guys would hit
Yeah.
you up after that one, but again,
Maybe I'll hold off.
not right, not the energy that we're wanting for that, but it's
No.
for yourself. This isn't about you.
Yes.
Um, well, Sarah, I'm super excited for you. I really am not worried about you. I think you just need a little direction. I told you that before. And
Hmm.
I'm glad that this is instilling some hope for you. These are things that are workable, doable, and you just keep going with it. And remember, don't compare yourself to others. Other people in your age group had the experiences that I'm sharing with you just earlier. That's all. They did it
Yeah,
earlier. So you're playing catch up. So don't like look around you and like, with all the other people. You do you.
I will.
Any last parting words of wisdom or things that you want to share and how you're feeling about it all?
No, I mean, again, I think this was amazing. Like at the beginning of our conversation, I felt one way, and now it's like, okay, this isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
That's
Um, yeah, and that feels great.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on. And thank
Thank
you
you.
for listening. This has been the Charisma Quotient. I'm your host, of course, Kimmy Seltzer. And remember, you can build confidence, make connections, and find love from the outside in. And if you want help overcoming your fears around dating, hop on a private call with me, just as I did with Sarah, to map out a dating plan to get you out there to find opportunities to build your confidence and have fun in the process because dating shouldn't be painful. Dating is really fun once you have the right mindset around it. And imagine just getting just some ideas and breaking this cycle that you've been dealing with for a really long time in one call. And yes, it's a private call. It is me, it's not my assistant. I just want to talk to you. Click the link you see in the show notes to book that. And remember, working on you is working on your dating life. That's all for now.